Hi, we're with Kim this afternoon. Kim heads up our safeguarding function, so we're going to talk to Kim about Mental Health Awareness Week and specifically kindness being the subject this year. So hi Kim, how are you?
I am very well, thanks Cheryl.
Good. So Kim, as you know, obviously it's Mental Health Awareness Week and the theme of this year is kindness. So with things being rather uncertain at the moment, and obviously us working in environments and our learners being environments that are slightly different, what do you feel right now is really important with regards to kindness and how that can impact our lives at the minute?
I think, kindness is a fundamental human reaction that we should all have. I think it's been really, really important at this time, not just for other people's sense of well-being, but also for your own. I mean, me personally, I've found that things that I've done for other people, friends, family, that's made them feel good has actually in turn made me feel better and a bit more purposeful as well.
We've obviously seen society come together over recent months across lots of different things, more around kind of key workers and supporting one another. So what lesson do you think this is teaching us? What can we take moving forward?
I think that the whole process has taught us a number of lessons. I think, definitely it's taught us about everyone has a part to play in society, no matter how big or small that is. It's probably taught us that we should, be more mindful of people around us, and that, there's certain people that through this process have had a lot more recognition that they would normally have. I guess, it's that taking things for granted, and, particularly the role that the key workers have had and how they've defined key workers as well. That's really changed. Even basic things like going to the supermarket, and being able to have a ready pick of everything that's available, that's been sort of a bit of culture shock to many.
So as far as changes that SCL have made with regards to showing kindness, prioritising well-being during this time, what's been so prominent to you?
Well, I think the way we sort of really quickly managed to flip our structure of learning to an online platform, which is one thing that that I'm grateful for, and I'm sure that that's been reflected by some of the great feedback that we've received from parents, learners, and our partners as well. That's been I think that's been really positive, and that has aided to look after their learners' well-being, because they've had like a purpose to continue with. It's also enabled us to have that regular communication with them and keep contact with them. Our online learning book was sort of a bit of a guide really to how to manage days, building routines. So that I think has been really key for well-being. It's got some key points in there about how important it is to keep a sleep pattern, which I know is difficult for some of our teenagers. There's been tutorials with our study programme learners, and I think with our kids programme, it's been really, really great the way some of our staff have adapted. Some of them have been putting themselves on the front line, still going into work, looking after the children of key workers and some of our most vulnerable kids. I think it's been great that we've been able to work with head teachers, use our expertise to make sure that we've adapted our programme so we can be really inclusive as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So what examples of staff and learners showing kindness and going above and beyond can you tell us about?
Oh, there's so many to mention. There's lots of individual stories and examples of fundraising going on. We've had some of our staff volunteering to drop off prescriptions and stuff like that. But I think one that's a little bit hidden for me, and I've been, particularly overwhelmed with, has been the interaction with our learners when they've noticed that one of their peers might not be, having the best time, or they've noticed a change in mood. That for me has been really, really valuable, because it just shows that some of the things that we're talking about in terms of awareness and recognition hasn't sort of maybe necessarily been there before, because you do take things for granted. And I just think that those really small silent acts of kindness have been at the, you know, really key moments for us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing, isn't it? This kind of natural pause almost, not necessarily for the best reasons. It's really brought out some amazing things, isn't it? So from a kind of kindness and it relating to mental health, what's your opinion? Talk to us about that as a specialist in the field.
Well, you know, they do go hand in hand. I think that it's a really good time to have kindness as a theme and link that to mental health, because of some of the examples that, you know, we're seeing as a society. On Thursday evenings, we're all stopping to clap for the NHS, for carers, for all of those key workers. And I just think, you know, as I think I already mentioned, that some days that are tough, and I think that I've heard so many different stories from, you know, from colleagues, from friends, from family, from my own children about how they're feeling. And sometimes, you know, doing those kind gestures can actually lift your mood as well. So yeah, I mean, we've done lots of things, and I think that it's just really, really simple things and small things that we've done as a family. You know, we can't see our grandparents and stuff, so I've used sort of card delivering services and put pictures of us on. We've had birthdays and anniversaries, and it's just been about how we adapt. And actually, more, you know, it's more thought process that goes in those little gifts. And normally, you know, it'd be just ordering something or grabbing something last minute and running it around. But, you know, we've had more time to be thoughtful and consider. And, you know, and the response has been quite overwhelming. I've even received a little doorstep parcel myself from a friend, and it was actually really overwhelming that, you know, that they were thinking about you at that time. And it just, you know, it gives you a better sense of self-worth, I guess.
So from advice and tips, what would you like to share with us with regards to mental health, and particularly our week this week?
Oh, you know, there's so many tips and advice, and, you know, there's lots of material that I've seen online. Me personally, I think that it's been a process, and week on week, you know, day on day, it's changed. But I think for me, I've got to a point where I just think about getting through the actual day that I'm in, and don't sort of try and see the bigger picture and ask too many questions about what's going to happen, you know, as lockdowns eased and we go back to our new normality. So for me, you know, it's just kind of trying to get through the day, making sure that we're, you know, getting a bit of exercise. And as I've said, you know, if you've got an opportunity to make someone else feel good, then it kind of makes you feel good as well.
Absolutely, comes hand in hand. That's brilliant advice. Thank you, Kim. Well, lovely to see you, and hopefully see you in person very, very soon. Take care, Kim. Stay safe.
Bye. Bye.